There's this clip going viral online of a dozen women being asked the following question: do we need men? Most answered very quickly, no.
Because men are useless. I mean...
This headline from The Hill, it caught my eye. Most young men are single. Most young women are not.
Young men have fallen faster than any demographic in America over the last 40 years.
It's a different world now. Like, we don't need men the way that they used to.
Nobody needs men!
The future is female.
Men and women are drifting further apart, and society is crumbling because of it.
A fascinating debate has broken out about the value of marriage.
You've kind of got the trad con versus red pill thing.
This men's rights crowd that sometimes just goes too far the other way.
You need to stop acting like grown boys and infants and actually become men.
Marriage is a bond, and it's a sacred bond.
It's a machine designed to extract resources from you.
Now many of the red-pilled have taken the position that it's bad for men to get married.
Hannah Pearl Davis, or just Pearly things.
One of the most controversial faces in all of the internet.
She goes on to say that marriage is a terrible deal for men.
Because if me and you were in a business contract, you would never sign a contract where I am paid to leave.
Gee, what could go wrong there?
74% or something of divorces are initiated by women. Men have everything to lose, primarily their own children.
Men get killed by the courts and by divorce laws.
I had no idea that courts of family law were courts of equity, not courts of law.
Because in family court, you don't need evidence to accuse someone of abuse. You need no evidence. When you guys say get married young, a lot of these men don't know what they're signing up for, and you're not going to be there when their entire life falls apart. I interview them on the other side.
I didn't meet my son until he was 15 months old.
How much did you spend trying to get him back?
On legal fees alone was about $200,000.
Before you know it, you're homeless. You're literally just thrown out onto the street.
We absolutely reinforce bad behavior from women.
Wives are taught to leave their husbands, and then daughters grow up without their fathers.
Family is the foundation of society.
Every problem in society comes from single mother homes.
A lot of women will just chase this negative rabbit hole of happiness, endless happiness.
Feminism's biggest failures is it lies to women. We tell women to date as many guys as possible. We tell them to put off family into marriage.
You are allowed to leave your perfect husband. You are allowed to end a relationship with a really great boyfriend.
Oh, freeze your eggs, have an abortion. What? You're evil.
I don't think there's anything else in life that we actually ever go into preparing to fail. Right. Like, if you have the mentality of this is going to go wrong and be pessimistic, naturally the outcome is going to be that it's going to fail anyway. Yeah. It's self-sabotage. And that's the thing, like, women are so willing to leave marriages because they're not happy. This is not about happiness. The most important thing is the children. And the problem is we have a modern society where it's me, 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 my feelings, leave when I feel like it, instead of doing what's best for the kids.
This myth that we live in an age of male privilege. Where's my male privilege?
They think, well, men have all the rights. They have all the power.
Privileged patriarchal system that we have.
Why doesn't our society care about men's rights?
I have no friends, no wife, and no social life.
Men are alone in this situation. Men are homeless. Men are thinking about eating guns.
I've seen so many men on the brink of suicide, and they didn't do anything wrong. How are you equal if the men are the ones that have to fight and die to defend the country? The men are the ones that build and maintain all the infrastructure.
Women are helplessly dependent upon men.
The so-called deaths of despair from suicide, overdose, or alcohol, 3 times higher among men than among women.
Culture is telling men, you are no good.
You got to get your act together.
I think men have failed themselves.
What kind of a man are you? What kind of a woman are you going to attract?
If men are in trouble, so are women.
Everybody knows this is a huge problem, but nobody wants to admit it.
Every single woman at the table said they wanted a man.
500K,
500K,
200K,
300K,
200K.
Am I crazy?
Everything is really set up against you to fail as a man.
If men make less than women, women don't want to marry them.
So you know who wants more economically and emotionally viable men? Women.
I don't want to be an independent woman anymore.
I don't want to be a strong, independent woman.
I'm over it.
When is it going to be my turn?
Where are we meeting the men that don't stop?
I can't keep having these same conversations.
The only simp here is you, Pearl. You simp for men.
I think you simp for women.
She's a provocateur. She says stupid stuff, but Pearl is right about this.
It's already happening. It's just not out in the open yet.
Now it's just hookup culture is going to be our fairy tale ending because men don't want a wife and women can't find a husband.
The future, if everybody follows your path, is there is no future.
We go into population decline, and our economy goes into decline.
Civilization will crumble.
The American story does not end well. This is an existential crisis, failing young men.
clip going viral online of a dozen women being asked the following question: do we need men? Most answered very quickly, no.
Because men are useless. I mean,
This headline from The Hill, it caught my eye. Most young men are single. Most young women are not.
Young men have fallen fast.
Is it working now, chat? Is it working now? Is it working? Oh, you're gonna make a woman joke on me right now? Okay, it's a woman joke. That's funny. That's hilarious, everybody. I'm sorry, guys. I filmed like 6 hours of content. We can hear now, okay. I filmed I'm sorry I'm late today, but you have to understand, I filmed like 6 hours of content and I was just wiped. It's for the paywall. And Doug MPA, I've been hearing the school link isn't in the chat. I don't know if you're here because it's late. Doug MPA is he's the hardest working, I think, top 2 hardest working people I've ever met in my life. The only reason I'm not saying one is because my dad's pretty hard to. I'm sorry, Doug MPA. Very apologize. But yeah, if you're in the chat, he might be because it's been a long day. But if you could put the school link. But I basically brought in one of the best PUAs. I never want to say the best because then other people get offended that I'm not calling them the best, but PUA that I know. I saw this dude take home 3 girls in a weekend. And he's just good at what he does. He loves seducing the women. He's great at it. And I thought, I have some guys in my chat that want to get laid, I think. So we spent 6 hours today filming content. And just by the end, I was fried. But I missed you guys. Do you know what I mean? I missed you guys. So, I still did want to do a show, but I was like, this is going to be late. Yeah, no, Doug MP, such a hardworking guy. That man does not sleep. I don't want to look at, I always got to be careful on these shows because I never want to put out too much I never want to dox anybody on accident. But I'll just say this. I need a sound engineer. We're going to talk more about this the change. We're going to have some changes coming up, life updates in general. I'm going to give you guys, but I need a week to figure some things out. So, yeah, but basically I got this guy in and it's part of the school group and he's really going to give you guys step-by-step stuff on how to get laid, essentially. So I obviously can't teach you guys how to screw women, right? You guys got to go to that from a professional, somebody that just, loves to bang some hoes. Do you know what I mean? Somebody that's really in it for the love of the game. What could I tell you, right? I could say, I could tell you my general knowledge, but when it comes to seduction, I mean, obviously I'm not going to be able to help you with that. The same way you guys can't really help seducing a man, right? Anyways, no echo. Okay, great. I'm self-producing tonight, so you guys I'm going to try to do a call-in show. But I'd like to manage your expectations that, oh my gosh, no. That it's going to be a learning curve with the tech. And I'm getting better, I think, but it's just a weakness of mine, But I think I'd be able to stream more if I could just do it on my own instead of just being a baby. So I'm just trying to... I'm trying to increase. No, he's not an incel. Who's putting incel in the chat? No, I mean, this guy, I've seen him take home 3 girls in a weekend. And I'm like, I think if you guys want to learn from him, there's a school group. He might be even, there's the demand, maybe we could bring him in once a month or something. Yeah, 1 second. I don't know why. So it's interesting. Me and Doug MPA, we often like come up with shows together. You know, like we spitball about what kind of shows we're going to do. And I had this thought, okay, a couple of weeks ago. Fathers, if I had a daughter in 2025, what would I tell her? Because traditional dating advice is going to leave you screwed, both men and women. And you guys don't want to hear this, but traditional dating advice does not work for women either, okay? Because essentially there's two types of guys, right? There's guys that get it and guys that don't. And I don't know which guy you are, right? It's guys that have the ability to replace you and guys who don't. So women are only attracted to men that have the ability to replace you. This is not women's fault. We cannot blame women for that. Women like men that have other women or the ability to get other women. We can't blame women for this. We can't hate on women for that. This is just one of those, it is what it is. And so I really had the thought, your daughter is going to screw somebody. In the nicest way I can say this. Women have been throwing it back for like all millennium. And your daughter is going to screw somebody. And you guys don't want to hear this, right? But the idea that if you guys think you have a daughter that's 16 and hasn't done anything, you might, but by 18, guarantee she's going to do something or will do something. So what environment, and I had this thought, a lot of people kind of hate on me because of the interracial like dating or what, I mean, and I thought about it, and it's pretty normal for women in like sports to go that route. And I think it's because interracial tends to be at the top of that like hierarchy. So, I mean, you see that a lot, like the athletes with the snow bunny. I mean, that's just not and it's normal because in sports, like, let's be honest, like those guys are kind of at the top, right? And I thought about this, women that like go into say, because on Twitter, there's all these groypers, and I got nothing against Nick, but they're just kind of on one sometimes, just freaking out. And like a girl might go into tech and then date Indian guy. That's where you kind of see this. And I thought if a dad's smart, he's good. He really should encourage his daughter to be in environments with the type of men that he wants her to date. And I thought about something smart in high school that a lot of people did, but I didn't clock onto it at the time. Now, where's a great place to meet a husband? A golf course. So I had this thought, and there's a lot of girls in high school that over the summer, they would go work at this like rich golf course. And a lot of them would come back with boyfriends, and a couple years later, they would come back with husbands. And I really thought back, and I thought, do you know what? I bet the parents were smart and did that on purpose. I bet, because, who's the type of guy at a golf course? Probably got his stuff together. He's at the golf course, not the club. I know you can get some dime pieces there, obviously. But at least it's like better than the club. Like you don't want as a dad your daughter with the club guy. And so I was trying to be pragmatic the other day, and I thought, where would you send your daughter to find a husband? Because the lack of fathers it's having a detrimental effect on society. Most people with problems, it can be traced to a single mother home. And, one of the tenets of the red pill space is that fathers are essential really to the development of a child, especially when it comes to daughters. Fathers are the ones that keep daughters off the stripper poles and off of sex work. Although if the daughter really wants to do it, there's nothing you can do, fathers. You're responsible maybe if you did a shitty job, but if you did a good job and she did it, she just wants to do it. Fathers are the ones that show daughters the type of man she should be looking for when it comes to marriage and having a family. Fathers have wisdom that's essential for a daughter, especially when navigating the modern world. And in other countries besides the West, fathers play an active role in finding a husband for their daughters. In the West, it's not the case, and the dating marketplace is so screwed up right now that, you know, good fathers, they're not even... like they're not even in it. Like they can't even actively vet the men because it's like a dating app, school. Like fathers are not vetting son-in-laws anymore. And it's unfortunate because fathers do a good job. They can look at a young man, his confidence, his work ethic, and, you know, they get to see if he's a good fit for his daughter. And if the young man isn't good enough, you know, the father used to dismiss him. But this got me thinking, if we could snap our fingers and return, like, you know, the practice of fathers finding husbands for their daughters, or at least putting the daughters in environments where they can meet a husband, where would you send your daughter to meet a husband? That's the question. And I really want you guys to not just think simp traits. Because here's the challenge. If you guys send your daughters, like, so there's two sides of hypergamy, right? There's alpha fucks and beta bucks. And the alpha fucks is like the guy at the foam cannon party. She's banging. It's the personal trainer. It's the guy that's really hot, but he might be too risky. And then there's beta bucks, money, provisioning, long-term. Obviously, women want both, but it's tough to get both. But the challenge is the way you have a lot of dads nowadays, you know, the men they encourage their daughters to marry are full beta bucks. But women don't need money anymore. So in a way, you're setting your daughter up for failure by giving her someone that's beta bucks, because she'll just divorce him later, right? She'll just pull the plug. So a lot of fathers, you know, they think that their daughters, like the best way to do it is to, you know, put her with the provider. But I mean, is that really a good solution? You give her a provider, she'll divorce him at 37. It's like now she's in the same spot. So I'm going to read an article now. Do you know what? I might just skip to the call-in. Okay, this one is asking, I might read this. Let's see. I am convinced, this is an article asking, how can I help my daughter marry well? I'm convinced that one of the most crucial questions I face is, whom should my daughter marry? Notice I did not say will, but should. Far too often we think about the marriages of our daughters like a pagan mystic. We close our eyes, think real hard, and just hope against hope that the stars will align and the right man will come along. And I think this is a mistake. The issue of whom our daughters will marry is far too important to be approached in this unbiblical fashion. Yeah. So a lot of times the dad can be a simp, so he just finds a simp husband. Now I'm really hoping you guys are 2 steps ahead of this, and we're thinking, where can the daughter find a husband? Like I think the golf course was very smart. Guy at a golf course, you'd think he'd have some options. It's not like he's antisocial. He's not like a dork. But generally, they're not going to be complete pushovers. Daniel says, dads are better than moms at raising kids. The science is clear. Dealing with the family court system is what broke me. Joke is on you. I'm 100% disabled now because of this BS. How did that happen? That sounds like a crazy story. I believe God has spoken rather decisively in his word about what our daughter should look for. Moreover, I believe that there are some non-negotiables that our daughter must be looking for. There are some things a man simply must be before he is qualified to assume the role of a Christian husband. For instance, he must be a Christian. He must be committed to a biblical. He must welcome children. He must be a suitable priest, prophet, protector, and provider. Yeah, they never say he must be capable of cheating. I didn't say he would cheat. They didn't say capable. Now, you might think, well, my daughter, I raised her better than that. The simp dads always do. They always think their daughter is immune to throwing it back. Always. That could never happen to my daughter. I'm like, yeah. Moreover, as a father, it is my responsibility to teach my daughter what these requirements are. Encourage her to not... you're going to encourage your daughter to not settle for less. Like, that's a good idea. Okay. And walk her through the process of eventually evaluating potential suitors. Of course, these ideas come as a shock into the contemporary Christian circles. However, I found that there's a growing discontentment among young women today. They're tired of being thrown to the wolves. They're also tired of feeling like they have to settle for less than God's best. My question is, why should they? Look, the only thing you can do, in my opinion, for your daughter is teach her how to compete, because arranged marriage is dead. These men, there's no incentive for them to be godly. And if you tell her to compete in a religious context in a non-religious society, you're setting her up for a failure. Now, I'm not talking about an unreasonable standard. In fact, if what you think aforementioned listed is unreasonable, I recommend you look at it again. We're not talking about a man requiring a man to be 6 feet tall or have a 6-figure income, a college degree, or a 2-car garage. We're talking about basic biblical requirements. And if we desire to see God's favor in generations to come, we had better be committed to upholding his standards when it comes to giving our daughters marriage. So fathers have a role to play in marriage. I believe that fathers have a God-given responsibility to see that it is their daughter to marry well, and that their sons become worthy husbands. As such, I believe it is necessary for fathers to mold biblical manhood, teach biblical manhood, and fight and hunt for biblical manhood on behalf of the daughters. I believe fathers with sons have the responsibilities to prepare their sons for marriage. No, you got to prepare your sons for these hoes. Yeah, prepare him for marriage. He's got to get laid first. As things begin to work themselves out and the dust begins to settle. We talked about our children, about the pain and the high cost of divorce. As we took advantage of the most teachable moment, Jasmine said something I'll never forget. She looked at me, shook her head, and said, "Daddy, I'm glad I've got you to pick my husband." She was dead serious. Yeah, she means that now. Wait till she's 16 and you see the Christian dorks they try to throw on these women. They're not going to want them. Now, I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying this is what it is. She had just witnessed the consequence that often accompany a decision to marry an unworthy man. And although she wasn't old enough to understand it, she did understand that her father would protect her. No. The father won't protect her from shit. These women get dating apps. They go to school. Nothing. Look, they teach the daughter to compete or she gets left behind. Dealing with the family court is worse than being in a firefighter. It's that messed up right now. That's what broke me. Okay, so I mean, this is just kind of like an article glamorizing the past. Now here's a clip talking about a daughter gets healthy affection from her father.
Who has healthy affection from her father not only feels more loved and more secure and more valuable, she also then learns how to expect to be treated by a boyfriend and a husband. So if she's used to being hugged and touched in a healthy way from her father, and she goes out and dates somebody that hits her, that won't touch her, that touches her inappropriately, she's gone. Because dad didn't do that.
Yeah, that's why pastors' daughters do so much better than the rest of the world.
Dad respected her. Dad loved her. It's critically important that daughters understand what healthy male love is about. And healthy male love gives you affection, and it gives you attention, and it gives you affirmation, and it gives you a sense that of value, that you are worth something.
Okay. All right, father says what a daughter should be looking for in a man.
Father explains to daughter what qualities to look for in a future husband.
It doesn't matter what the daughter tells her. It doesn't matter what the father tells the daughter. The women are going to go banged out by, the women are going to get banged out by somebody. It's the chat at college, the chat at the golf course. What chat are you sending your daughter to? That's my question. I want to know, where are you sending them? And my daughter won't date Chads. I need people calling into the show that live in the real world. The real world. Where are you sending your daughter?
So when you're looking for that special, when you look for that special person, right? You should always look for the 4 P's. The first one is provision. Provision. A man should always be willing to provide for his household. Now, mind you, it's a tag team effort, and you should bring something to the table, so you shouldn't solely depend on him. But a man that's willing to provide, that shows a good quality about him. The next one is patience. A man should always be patient with you. Understand that you're not perfect. Understand that y'all learning, and y'all will come across some bumps along the road. The next one is protection. A man needs to be willing to protect you. As your father, I protect you. So a man should always be willing to protect his household. And the last one, this is the most powerfulest one, is prayer. A man should be willing to pray for you, with you, and on behalf of you. A man that recognizes that it's not just 2 people in a relationship, but it's 3, you, him, and God, that's the perfect man for you. Y'all be blessed.
Yeah. She'll still go get banged out by Tyrone. Okay, so I want to know, where are you guys sending your daughters to find husbands? And what traits should she be looking for? And don't say provider. Okay? Because women are going to divorce the straight providers anyway. So I'm about to put the link in the chat. I pray to God I figure this out. I may not. So I'm going to put the link in the chat. I want you guys to tell me what you think, where they should go. I'm going to play my commercial. Sorry. I'm going to play my commercial while I go get this Zoom link.
This clip going viral online of a dozen women being asked the following question: do we need men? Most answered very quickly, no.
Because men are useless.
This headline from The Hill, it caught my eye. Most young men are single. Most young women are not.
Young men have fallen faster than any demographic in America over the last 40 years.
It's a different world now. Like, we don't need men the way that they used to.
Nobody needs men!
The future is female.
Men and women are drifting further apart, and society is crumbling because of it.
A fascinating debate has broken out about the value of marriage.
You've kind of got the tradcon versus red pill thing.
This men's rights crowd that sometimes just goes too far the other way.
You need to stop acting like grown boys and infants and actually become men.
Marriage is a bond, and it's a sacred bond.
It's a machine designed to extract resources from you.
Now many of the red-pilled have taken the position that it's bad for men to get married.
Hannah Pearl Davis, or just Pearly things.
One of the most controversial faces in all of the internet.
She goes on to say that marriage is a terrible deal for men.
Because if me and you were in a business contract, you would never sign a contract where I am paid to leave.
Gee, what could go wrong there?
74% or something of divorces are initiated by women. Men have everything to lose, primarily their own children.
Men get killed by the courts and by divorce laws.
I had no idea that courts of family law were courts of equity, not courts of law.
Because in family court, you don't need evidence to accuse someone of abuse. You need no evidence. When you guys say get married young, a lot of these men don't know what they're signing up for, and you're not going to be there when their entire life falls apart. I interview them on the other side.
I didn't meet my son until he was 15 months old.
How much did you spend trying to get him back?
On legal fees alone was about $200,000.
Before you know it, you're homeless. You're literally just thrown out onto the street.
We absolutely reinforce bad behavior from women.
Wives are taught to leave their husbands, and then daughters grow up without their fathers.
Family is the foundation of society.
Every problem in society comes from single mother homes.
A lot of women will just chase this negative rabbit hole of happiness, endless happiness.
Feminism's biggest failures is it lies to women. We tell women to date as many guys as possible. We tell them to put off family and a marriage.
You are allowed to leave your perfect husband. You are allowed to end a relationship with a really great boyfriend.
Oh, freeze your eggs, have an abortion.
what? You're evil.
I don't think there's anything else in life that we actually ever go into preparing to fail.
Right.
Like if you have the mentality of this is going to go wrong and be pessimistic, naturally the outcome is going to be that it's going to fail anyway. Yeah. It's self-sabotage.
And that's the thing, like women are so willing to leave marriages because they're not happy. This is not about happiness. The most important thing is the children. And the problem is we have a modern society where it's me, 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 my feelings, leave when I feel like it, instead of doing what's best for the kids.
This myth that we live in an age of male privilege. Where's my male privilege?
They think, well, men have all the rights. They have all the power.
Privileged patriarchal system that we have.
Why doesn't our society care about men's rights?
I have no friends, no wife, and no social life.
Men are alone in this situation. Men are homeless. Men are thinking about eating guns.
I've seen so many men on the brink of suicide and they didn't do anything wrong.
How are you equal if the men are the ones that have to fight and die to defend the country? The men are the ones that build and maintain all the infrastructure.
Women are helplessly dependent upon men.
The so-called deaths of despair from suicide, overdose, or alcohol, 3 times higher among men than among women.
Culture is telling men you are no good.
You got to get your act together.
I think men have failed themselves.
What kind of a man are you? What kind of a woman are you going to attract?
If men are in trouble, so are women.
Everybody knows this is a huge problem, but nobody wants to admit it.
Every single woman at the table said they wanted a man.
500K,
500K,
300K,
300K,
200K.
Am I crazy?
Everything is really set up against you to fail as a man.
If men make less than women, women don't want to marry them.
So you know who wants more economically and emotionally viable men? Women.
I don't want to be an independent woman anymore.
I don't want to be a strong, independent woman.
I'm over it.
When is it going to be my turn?
Where are we meeting the men that don't stop?
I can't keep having these same conversations.
The only simp here is you, Pearl. You simp for men.
I think you simp for women.
She's a provocateur. She says stupid stuff, but Pearl is right about this.
It's already happening. It's just not out in the open yet.
Now it's just hookup culture is going to be our fairy tale ending because men don't want a wife and women can't find a husband.
The future, if everybody follows your path, is there is no future.
We go into population decline, and our economy goes into decline.
Civilization will crumble.
The American story does not end well. This is an existential crisis, failing young men.
What up, guys? So the time has come where we are finally doing this divorce documentary. It's by... All right, guys, I put the link in the chat. I'm still trying to figure out one thing, but we're going to work with this today. If you don't have patience today, you got to go to a different show. It just is what it is. I wish I was better, but I just, But I begin really frustrated on this topic because the Christian men are the worst with this topic. They all think they're special and they're raised their daughters to not do that. I know a lot of holy men and good dads. It says you can't join the... Okay, I'll check. That their daughters got banged out by Tyrone too. So you might as well pick the Tyrone, the Chad. Thank you, FM Wood. You might as well put him in an environment where it's at least a higher quality Chad. She has a chance of locking down. But I need some realism from you guys. Okay, I'm going to make you guys listen to my mixtape while I figure this out. I'm sorry. I wish I was better, but I'm going to look at who's in the Zoom link. I might have to walk back and forth the producer stations over that way. You were concerned I was crashed in a ditch. Nope, I'm here. So I'm going to make you listen to my mixtape. Here's my new one. This one's with Savo. Can you guys hear it?
Angel on the track.
I've been shaking every day since I had to leave. It's not what I wanted, but you're no good for me. But it's 2 a.m. and I'm missing you. And I find myself calling you, saying, babe, come over, let's do this over. Come be my shoulder to cry on. Life really ain't bad. been the same since you've been gone. 'Cause you're addictive. Side effects include missing you, loss of appetite, sleepless nights, and trust issues. You're high risk. I'm a love addict. This feeling is fatal, mentally unstable. You should have come with a warning label. 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 You're in bed with someone else, saying you miss me, and I'm crying on the bathroom floor, wishing I didn't leave. This love is expired, but I still desire a refill. A refill. 'Cause you're addictive. Side effects include missing you, loss of appetite, sleepless nights, and trust issues. You're high risk. I'm a love addict. This feeling is fatal, mentally unstable. You should have come with a warning label. You should have come with a warning label. You should have come with a warning label. You should have come.
All right, that was my mixtape from 2016. I'm going to see if I can hear this. We're going to test one too. Segjanas, can you hear me? Doesn't matter. I can't hear you. It says he's not muted. My mic is going. I don't think I can hear him. Is that copyright? I don't think so. Because if I can't get the Zoom working, I'm just going to have to spitball and tell you my ideas. Due to feminism, many modern women in first world countries run on the 3 M's, which are my, mine, and mine. This selfish, destructive, and delusional mentality will unfortunately continue until some kind of calamity takes place. A good woman is rarer than someone who owns gold. In the West, less than 5% of 5% own gold or some other jewelry. It's rare to find a decent girl that's worth anything. I cannot hear you. Let me get up. Can you hear me? Can you nod? Do you hear me? Can you thumbs up if you can hear me? You can. I can't hear you. Let me go fix an audio setting. You're going to have to... I think... Oh. I can't hear you, but it very well could be my audio. I'm going to see if it's me. I'm going to check it. Oh, he said 1 second. We'll see. But I can't hear anything through these headphones right now. Hold on, guys. Give me a second. You're in bed with someone else. Saying it's me. I'm crying on the bed. Okay, that's what it's plugged into. Okay, let me see the output. Select a microphone so they can hear me. Okay. All right, talk again. Can you hear me? I might just quit this. What the hell is it? I can hear you. It might be you, sir. I'm going to try the next caller. Yeah, I can't hear you. I'm going to try that. It might not be, but I don't know. Oh my God, I hate tech. Remove. Commit. Okay. We're getting a lot of super chats tonight. Thank you guys. You guys are too nice. This is such a... I feel bad. I wish I could get this Zoom to work, man. Due to feminism. Oh, wait, I read that one already. Oh, wait, I read that already. Okay. Where are the tech bros at? Yo, if I could tell you guys what I've been through. Nothing compared to a lot of you. You guys go through more. I just don't know why I can't hear this. That's what's throwing me right now. I can hear my laptop. Why can I hear my laptop here, but I can't hear the Zoom? That is what's driving me nuts. Well, I guess I'm just going to spitball. And I'll try again tomorrow. I'm going to try creating a new Zoom link. Yeah. What the hell is this Zoom? Let's see. It says on the Zoom that they can hear me. Why can't I hear them? That's my question. Well, my opinion, reboot. No, that's not going to fix it. Trust. My opinion, these are the ideas I thought of. Shiv thought of coffee and cars. I was like, that's a good place to go. Cornelium, can you try to talk? I want to see if this works. No, I'll tell you the challenges. I got too good of equipment. I used to be able to do it fine when I had like OBS and StreamYard. But my last producer convinced me to get the super nice equipment. Said we needed it. And now I can barely use it. That's where I'm at. So, no, I'm not flat earth. It's an audio issue, not the link. It says I can. Hold on. The challenge is the computer is there and I'm here. So I have no way to test the audio and listen from here when I'm there is the challenge I get. Zoom has audio. Yeah, I know I need to choose the correct listening device, but if you saw it, there's like 20. Actually, let me see if my sister can come here. Let me see if she's busy. She's actually home. One of the few women in my family that doesn't hate what I do.
I'm in the car with me. What's up?
Oh, I was wondering if you could come to the studio for a second.
Why?
I need to fix something, but I need someone sitting there while they test it to fix it.
Well, I am not even home right now.
Oh, if you're not home, it's okay. I was just if you're home.
Although Dad's in the shed, so you can call him.
Okay.
He's fixing his truck.
Okay, bye. Well, I tried. I really wanted to do a show tonight. It's just this frickin' Zoom. And I know I'm so close to figure. I'm going to try one more. All right, no one's answering. All right. I'm going to try this one more time before I give up. If you can hear me, say something, but otherwise, I think I'm just going to spitball and maybe go off of what we think in the chat. Such an L. I live in Canada, and recently while I was at a grocery store, a young woman was carrying a case of water to her car. I ignored her. However, some men went right away and helped her and gave me shit for not helping her. LOL. What the hell? I know you guys can hear me. Okay, but you know what? I'll just spitball. I'll just be a lootie, want to join my gardening team. I can't. Do I look like a bitch who gardens? Truly. I mean, I know the trad. I know the trad, like, dream is this gardening woman, but, like, do you really need a chick who gardens? Can we just... So, because my question really is for the fathers. What is your plan if you have a daughter to get your daughter married? Because really, the plans they stick daughters with nowadays is like, send her to college and figure it out. Well, what colleges don't send your daughters to college? Okay, that's what Gabe says. Gabe, where are you sending them? Zoom off my laptop. Well, the audio hooks up to the computer over there somehow. I don't really get it, but I know in cooks and clean. Well, I'm telling you guys, any dating coach that's worked with a lot of men, the gardening isn't really what the dudes are selecting for. I'm just saying in 2025, like men under 35, they don't have houses. It's not really like pragmatic in the day. They might think later, right? But women are the ones buying houses they can't afford. The single men, they aren't. So, like, what's your step-by-step plan? So, if it were me, right, I think the golf course, the girls in my high school that did that, really smart. Sports, the athletes, they could be kind of players. I don't know if I'd send... I do think athletics does build character. But that is, send it to my, yeah, Steve M. True. You know, like, I think a lot of the boomer men just kind of, you guys are not up with the times. I'm like, these guys, I've never heard a guy say he wanted garden, maybe over 40, right, or 50. Sports and music, there you go. Okay, what, are musicians gonna be the type to take her seriously? What kind of music? You know, so that's the question I have for the men. Like, what's your plan, right? Golfers are players too. Well, yeah, but the daughter is only going to like players. Oh, but my daughter's different. Uh-huh. I've seen your daughters on my show, okay? I've seen a lot of this stuff. So that's really my question for you guys. If you guys could put it in the chat, it would really help me spitball here. I really would love to bring you guys up, but unfortunately, the tech just isn't going my way today for whatever reason. And the challenge is when it's just me, I can't test it here. I can't. So I kind of have to go live to figure out. I don't know why I'm explaining this to you guys. You guys deserve better. You don't care. But there's no hope. Well, I mean, you guys, you can either accept women as they are or make women into something we're not, or cope that we're something we're not. Women are not these sweet, innocent creatures that just like good men. We don't. We like criminals. We like bad boys. We like men that have options. And you might not like it, but that's the way that women are. Now, you might say that's immoral, and, you know, morality aside, at some point, you got to ask the question, your daughter is going to screw somebody. You got to send her somewhere. It's not realistic that any of these guys are going to do a traditional courting. Like, I don't know a single couple that's married that was traditionally courted. They met on dating apps, at college, and at bars. That's where I've seen couples get married. Now, I told my daughter from a young age, you're lucky if I let you get to hold this hand. When she was 40, I told her she could date. She is 15, very clean mindset. I don't care who your daughter is in 15. When you send her to school, she's on her own. So what's your plan? What is your plan? And if you say just wait till marriage, 2% of women are doing that. So if you think your daughter is going to be the 1% or the 2%, that's great, but you're just as delusional as the women saying they're going to get a 1% guy. So where are you sending her? I'm a First Nation and I do not believe in marriage. Also, if I had a daughter, I would teach her how to cook, clean, wilderness survival, and some boxing. I would never send her to college or give her a cell phone. Okay, that sounds like you're in the Stone Age. That's fine, but remember, she's 18, she gets to make her own choices. So let's say she says, Dad, I want to go to college. I'm going to take out a loan, I'm going. What school are you sending her to? What majors are you looking for? Where are you telling her to meet men? See this? This is how you guys as daughters end up getting ran through. No real life. No, I'm not Gen Z. My daughter is marrying a Japanese man. That's great. Where'd she meet him? Do you approve? Do you approve? Meet a man in church. The men in church, I'm sorry. Generally, the way I've seen church things go, there's one or two Chads and Tyrones. There's one or two men that you can compete for before 25, that all the women in church are competing for. What are you doing to prepare your daughter to compete and win for those men? Does a good wife need to have a degree? No. But she has to be in the room, doesn't she? Where is she going to meet him? You guys have nothing. Nothing, I'm here. You can't base your entire life around marriage. That's fine. I mean, give her to the wolves. Pearl just wants to blame everyone but women for daughters getting raped. I'm not. It's completely the daughter's fault. But what tools are you giving your daughters? That's the question I have. What are the actual tools? Easy, we are too soft and pay for it. We need to stop paying for it. Okay. This is a great time to stream. I mean, this is probably the worst stream I've ever done, and you guys are super chatting like crazy. I don't know why. Maybe you guys like to see me struggle. I don't know. This is rough, but you know what? I'll show up, and if it's not good, I'll ask my guy tomorrow and see what I did wrong. Pearl's black-pilled. Yeah. True. I like to think realistic. You guys have given me nothing. Daughters can find plenty of tools in college. Yeah, tools about how to gluck, how to throw it back, how to ride. Those are the tools. I think I'm becoming black-pilled because of you. I'm glad. Pearl turns that cope into hope. It's not cope. I'm just asking. It's Friday night and none of us are getting laid. Stop saying that. You're feeding into this incel thing that everyone's telling me. Jessica B, teach her to listen and submit. How do you teach her that? Go ahead. Do you think men can change, or is it women, or both? Nobody's going to change. People are going to do exactly who they are. That's it. I say if I had a daughter, but I did not want children because of feminism. Self-improvement meetup groups. Fire me. Okay, which ones? Give me specifics. Women should meet men in their community. What community? Like, do you guys live in this? Nobody has community. I lived in London. I did not know my neighbors. What community? Where? You can teach your daughter to be modest, to value herself. Are men selecting for modesty nowadays? You guys set yourself. Meet at work. Okay, what jobs? What jobs are you, and how is she gonna overcome men's apprehension for dating at work? I have 3 daughters. I'm 28, then giving them hope for the future. Oh, hope. That's a plan. What's the plan? You know, that's what I keep asking. I live in a community where nobody talks to each other. Exactly. Sean, the call-in is my own fault. There's some issue with the audio, and I don't feel like messing around with it on live until I figure it out. I'm just going to ask my producer tomorrow. You're going to teach her to be a stripper? I mean, that's a better... Is there a wife school? Where? Women in the military. That's at least a good plan. Women in the military do get ran through. They're kind of known for that. But, hey, who are you telling her to go for in the military? Which types of guys? Pearl, in my case, it was a self-improvement Discord. I was running for Tribe of Men. She got in there looking for the guy she wanted to be with. We got married and have a kid. Now, okay, so you tell her to go the digital route and digitally go find men that you were interested in. Okay, that's a better plan. Yeah, so what I've gotten from this live is that you guys got nothing. Well, so Ray is the next generation of 304s. That's fine. Just don't have kids, that's fine. Let me see. Plan for... See if any father out there is a YouTube. All right, 10 questions to ask your daughter's boyfriend. Let's see how good this is. If I have children and they ever find me and any of them are girls, I will teach them to have high standard. Oh, yeah. You see what I mean? The dads are really almost like the culprit. Yeah, because the daughters need to have high standards. That's going to stop Chad and Tyrone. You can tell that a lot of men, both young and old, never really plan or think about the possible daughter's future and think that they know best and their daughter will be different. I think I've seen this film before and I didn't like the end. Yeah, because this is what they do. They all think their daughter is the special one that won't do any of those things. They have no plan, none. They haven't thought about it. And it's fine. I mean, what like, I'll give you, even my dad, like, he didn't know. He married the first woman he dated and he stayed with her forever. Problem solved. The generation before us. But, at least the next generation of men having kids, it's fucked. So how are you going to teach your kids to do it? Let's see. 10 questions to ask your daughter's boyfriend. Let's see. Yeah. This is the most outdated shit I've ever seen. Okay, let me get this straight. People are meeting on dating apps and at school. So this is step one, right? The people that dated. I'm going to tell you how I've seen couples meet. Get on a dating app. Get to know each other, have sex for a period of time, get into a relationship. Some women try to get the relationship first. Usually doesn't work unless the guy's desperate. Other way around, college. They would meet at a party, hook up, keep hooking up, get into that's how it's going. Some people go slower through friends. But you're telling me, so after this dude's banged your daughter on a dating app or at college, now you get to, why do you want to date my daughter? Like, that's going to affect anything. Like, you guys gotta, not you have to, but if I had a daughter, I would prepare her for the real world and be like, look, I got to be honest with you. I got to talk about what works, not necessarily what's moral, but what works. I'd say, look, sex is important to men. If you like him, you're going to have sex with him. You can make him wait to see if he likes you or whatever. And then once you have sex, you can see if he actually wants to stick around. That's it. You're cooked. Oh, but my daughter is so great. She'll be able to. I hate you guys. College STEM field. Tom, thank you. You send her to the engineering building. That's at least a good plan. Dating apps are shallow. Well, I would send my daughter to meet men a different way. Really, your daughter's going to meet men in a different way than her entire generation is meeting men. The most unrealistic. I mean, the way you guys are talking, this is so delusional. We're going to keep going. Put him on the spot. Put him on the spot the right way and get a sense of what he wants with your precious little angel. Do you guys see how this equates to the women we have today? It's the simp dads. What do you like to do for fun, okay? Give him a chance to talk about his interests and you'll learn something about him. Okay, that's fine. She married an engineer and he wasn't. Now, and what would you tell her? Would you tell her to smash fast? Wait a month? Like, what are you gonna... I hope you're not saying wait till marriage, because that's the dumbest advice I've ever heard in my life in 2025. That would be ideal. But unless you're facilitating that, like you found the guy that also wants to do it, you are just getting her cooked. What did my dad do with me? Nothing. They gave me nothing. Why do you think I'm interested in this stuff? Because it was very confusing. I was told wait till marriage. That was like the worst advice ever. And the women I know, like, trust. Yeah, Chad is peak delusion. Get your daughter on the pill when she's 15, okay? Too many dads doing the princess treatment. I know. She didn't listen. I don't know if you're talking about me. I tried. I tried. Yeah. My dad's so disappointed. No, my dad's actually quite proud of me, to be honest, but what's my number? 0. Oh my gosh, the chat says, you think Chad and Tyrone aren't in the building trying to get that Python C+ glut glut? Yeah. Are you religious? Do you have a job? Okay, fine. I'm just gonna go through these. I don't want to get copyright. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Yeah, the trad men are like the most delusional there are. What are your parents like? And you're going to say, oh, be different than the culture. Like, why do trads assume that they're different? That's the dumbest assumption ever. Set up a fake dating profile for your daughter and sort by PhD and introduce her to sub 5'10" medical doctors from Tinder when she's 18 to 20. Linus, that's the best. That is the best plan. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. That is the best plan that I've heard so far. You guys have given me nothing. Linus, you set up the Tinder dates. You find the guys, send her on the dates. That is the best plan out of the whole chat. Most dads, these are more like interview questions. What's up with the BS video? Well, that's the best one. All you guys have given me is I'm gonna raise her to be different. Yeah, that's how to get let down. That's how to get let down. What are your parents like? Yeah, this is... What's the craziest thing he's ever done? You know, men are smart. They're not going to fall into that trap. Only women will. Do your parents have any dating rules that we should know? Like, it says, you speak highly of your father. Well, my father is amazing. My father is the best. And I tell him this all the time. He's the best person I've ever met in my life. Point blank. I've never met a better person. But the more controlling the dad is, the more likely she'll betray. Well, that's true. And I didn't say to be controlling. I said, what are your tools to give her? You know, like, okay, if you have a daughter, she's got to source dates somehow. So where is she going to go on the dates? Is it dating apps? Is it Do you say you're on your own? Good luck. Hey, that's at least honest, right? Do you say, hey, go to the golf course, flirt with some guys? Do you tell her when to sleep with a guy? I know you guys are all going to say marriage. Without having a good mother, it's impossible. Can she make a pie crust? These guys aren't vetting for pie crusts. Most do. They don't have houses. They're just hoping she doesn't have a lot of debt or an STD. The mall. Okay, okay, you send her to the mall or a grocery store. What's the opener? What if your daughter is an orchestra or a band and keep her there? Then she's around prestigious. Okay, an orchestra, that's actually a deal. Okay, what's your opener? What's step one? In reality, there's nothing that can be done from preventing feminism to brainwash your daughter. Anyways, guys, I'm so sorry for the low quality, I guess, tonight. You guys are awesome, though. And somebody signed up for my website from this. Have her watch anime. They have to meet in high school or college. Okay, where? What club? How should she approach? Nothing. What do I think of like the horse riding crowd? I don't know anything about that. Band camp was a score fest when I was in high school. Hey, look, and I'm not against it being a score fest, right? Your daughter's going to get banged out by somebody, okay, when she's of age, right? It might as well be a guy you approve of. And that's this whole idea, oh, don't somebody's going to do it. You might as well put her in a position or give her the tools or tell her, sex is a need. And the problem with conservatives, they have a tendency to think sex is not a need and to just ignore your biological drives and their daughters will be different and wait till marriage. But unless you're facilitating choices of husbands young, it's not going to happen. God damn it, Pearl, I don't want to think about this shit. Well, then your daughter will be the same. So it's not necessarily that's wrong that she hooks up with somebody, but can she keep him? Have you given her the tools to keep him? Or is she going to get passed like the other girls? What's too high risk, right? Have her in an arranged marriage. Oh yeah, okay, who's going to agree to that? What? Remember, she's her own person. When she's 18, she has the right to do whatever she wants. She has to choose. Not you. You can't arrange marriage. She has authority when she's 18. Anyways, guys, I'm a little frustrated with this Zoom call, but I'm going to ask tomorrow what the issue was, and hopefully I can stream tomorrow night. If you guys could like the video on your way out, but I'm kind of disappointed in the chat, but I'm going to redo this show and we're going to do a real call-in and conversation about this. But I want you guys to really think of like a step 1, step 2, step 3. It's not hard to vet a man. Come on now. Well, it's not hard to vet a man, but it's hard to teach your daughter how to get a man. The guy has to like your daughter. And you have to raise her to want to be that. Did your dad pick your boyfriends? No. He didn't know any, I love my father to death, but he didn't know what was going on out here. He's like loads of kids stay celibate. Okay, what % of people are waiting till marriage? It's like for religious reasons, it's roughly 2%. People are not virgins on their wedding days. That ship has sailed, it's gone, it's done. And telling your kids to do that is putting them at a severe disadvantage, I'm telling you. It's gone. It's done. People aren't doing. I'm not telling you change the system, tell them to go against the grain, because it would just be dishonest and unrealistic. I'm asking, what's your plan to navigate what we have now? Yeah, she has to like him first. You teach her to like good things and not felons and assholes. You can't teach that. You're saying don't be a woman. Honest waiting until marriage is a good idea. Well, good luck finding people that want to do that. Okay? And this is where I get so caught up, because if you want to do that, what's your plan to do it? I know it is a great question. What's your plan? Like, because you have no authority. You have no authority over who she marries. It's got to be, in 2025, it is her choice. So women don't make good choices, but what can you equip her with to make better choices? She lives at home under her father until he approves of her husband. That's biblical. God damn it. Do you guys not live in 2025? She can go take out a loan, be in debt forever to get to a school. Has anyone never noticed that a lot of people nowadays do not like to think or even ponder about things in the future? It used to be normal to do that back in the day, to critically think. We need a plan. No one has a plan. Every guy here thinks their daughter's going to be special. They always do. Anyways, guys, I'm kind of disappointed in you. I'm a little bit, but I actually want to redo this conversation on a day I can figure out the Zoom. You know, it just is what it is. I'm going to have some Zoom calls going up. Or not some one-on-ones going up, but I just wanted to go live tonight. Thanks for all the donations. I'm like flabbergasted. This is like the nicest thing ever. Why would you marry a non-virgin woman? MGTOW biologic. What age are you in? Men are married. All of the people getting married aren't virgins. Why would you... Okay, I'm sorry. I'm being a bitch. Sorry. Disappointed. I just mean, like, I just want to have a pragmatic step-by-step conversation. Not like, why would anyone marry a non-virgin? They're doing it all the time. All the time. So it's not why. It's like people are. And so that's what I'm getting to. I get frustrated when I'm like, we got to have a real conversation. Okay, then this is where I get these specific people that I know. This one person that did it the trad way. Okay, I'm really glad that they figured that out, but that's not normal. I know Nala says she's a virgin. Okay, we're getting closer. Start early. Who her friends are in private school. Meet her friends, families, and start by 8-year-olds. No kidding. 8 years old. Oh, okay. So let me get this straight. You're going to sign your kid up to private school, and you're going to be able to interview all the people that kid interacts with. In that case, you just have to pick the best you can find a good prenup, except that it might end in divorce. No big deal. Well, I'm saying from the daughter's point of view, where are you sending them? Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'm so sorry about the streaming today. I have some updates that we're going to go through in the next probably week. But I got to get some stuff figured out in my life. So I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell. And I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. $10. I think the whole world needs to go back to the Stone Age. That is not a real step-by-step before we destroy ourselves. You guys are funny today. All right. Good night, everybody.